If you've been watching liberal social media lately, you've witnessed something extraordinary: the complete mental breakdown of an entire political movement. For months, they've been pushing this elaborate fantasy about Kamala Harris having some sort of secret plan to stop Trump's certification. The Blue Anon crowd actually convinced themselves that there would be some grand revelation, some magical moment where Harris would emerge triumphant. Instead, we watched her certify her own political obituary. But here's where it gets interesting. Their delusion reveals something far more sinister about the Democrat establishment. Now, Patriots, while we watch this fairy tale crumble of the left, there's a real crisis that's threatening our food supply that nobody's talking about. The American bee population is in danger, and with it, our entire food chain. But Patriot Bee Best is taking action, creating a nationwide movement to save our bees and protect our food security. For less than 17 cents a day, you can join this critical mission and support conservative values at the same time. Visit patriotbeebest.com. It's linked below, and use code NEXTNEWS for 25% off your monthly subscription. Don't wait until our grocery shelves are empty. Join the hive of patriots protecting America's future today. So we got a lot to get into in this segment. But first off, I think this was one of the big stories that was circulating in this video you see here. Okay, watch closely. All right. Now, this guy, No Lie with Brian Taylor Cohen, was just one of the individuals who posted this. He says the husband of a Republican senator just refused to shake hands or make eye contact with Vice President Harris, the level of class you can expect from MAGA. That's what he wrote here on the caption to this video. Now, I swiftly pointed out to him, I said, yes, the classless MAGA husband narrative, except he was literally holding a cane to support himself. Maybe try looking a little closer before posting, Brian. The desperation in your spin is showing. Stay classy. Now, if you look closely, there he is holding his cane. Now, if you watch again, watch closely what happens in this moment. The hand on the Bible, he's holding the Bible. And she reaches to shake his hand after he's like in the midst of handing the Bible back over, but he's holding his cane at the same time. And he does acknowledge Kamala Harris. See, he shakes, he looks at her, acknowledges her, and then stands there for the photograph. And Kamala Harris is like, oh, okay, I guess you don't want to shake my hand. Well, he's holding a cane. So this is like the big thing today. Everyone, this guy, right? So we're just debunking that in real time. Got to do it. That's our job here. But the Blue Anon crowd is going nuts. Now, before I get to what some of these people are saying, here's Representative Nancy Mace. Listen closely to what she says here.
Constitution. Today we certify the election results, the mandate from November 5th. A little bit of history here. Democrats have objected to every presidential election, certifying every presidential election this century. So constitutionally, Article 2, Section 1, as amended by the 12th Amendment, requires the President of the Senate, aka Kamala Harris, to come into the chamber in
the President of the Senate. Okay? That's what the term is, Madam President. That's what they refer to her when she is in the Senate chamber.
By the 12th Amendment, requires the President of the Senate, aka Kamala Harris, to come into the chamber in the presence of both the House and the Senate to open all envelopes and certify the results of the election, count the votes for President and Vice President. That happens at 1 p.m. today.
Okay, so she clearly states her terminology is Madam President. But we have this guy or thing. The left, Dusty posted this. Let me see if I can get a better angle for you before I go vertical again. The left thinks there's some sort of conspiracy over Kamala Harris because she kept getting called Madam President. Does the left know anything about the Constitution, the electoral process? Okay, listen to this person.
President. So breaking news, as I am watching the certification live happen, every time they read one, they're saying Madam President, not Madam Vice President. They're saying Madam President. Listen.
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of...
Madam President, the certificate of the electoral vote of the state of Missouri.
I know it's audio's no good.
Why are they saying Madam President? What is going on? That's interesting, isn't it? Did Joe step down and we didn't know? What is going on? This is very intriguing, isn't it? Anyway, we'll check back soon.
Yeah, clearly they have no idea what that means.
This century. So constitutionally, Article 2, Section 1, as amended by the 12th Amendment, requires the President of the Senate, aka Kamala Harris, to come into the chamber in the
There. The President of the Senate. Okay, so we put that to bed. But there are other people that take this to a whole new level. According to Blue Anon, Kamala will still be president. Liberals are really triggered today. I wonder why. I guess that Blue Anon lied to them, made them believe that Kamala had something up her sleeve in order to deny the certification. And here is Kamala talking about what her sacred obligation is.
The peaceful transfer of power is one of the most fundamental principles of American democracy. As much as any other principle, it is what distinguishes our system of government from monarchy or tyranny. Today at the United States Capitol, I will perform my constitutional duty as Vice President of the United States to certify the results of the 2024 election. This duty...
Okay, so she's clearly stating she has a constitutional obligation to fulfill the role. But, you know, those on the left believe some crazy conspiracy that she will certify the election. But it's important to remember that things have to play out this way in order for her to be inaugurated later this month. They actually believe this.
Alone to stand. Come on, y'all should already know what I'm going to say. I told you she's going to certify the thing. That's not the play. Remember those documents, those changes? Remember we said that role of certification is ministerial, meaning it's not up to her and her alone to stand in the way. That whole belief was... what's his face? Okay, that was him threatening his own Veep and insisting that he do something that it wasn't in his role to do. And for whatever reason, some of y'all over here thought that that was a viable option, that she alone was going to stand and be the one to stop it. And we keep saying it can't be that. It literally can't be that, for the same reason that a lot of y'all are refusing to say the things out loud that we've been saying. Because as soon as you do, as soon as she does, then she's the problem. She is crazy, she's this, she's that, you understand? So that we knew she was going to certify whatever they come out with. Okay? That's not a surprise. Not a surprise.
Not a surprise. Oh, and then we have this one here. Eric Doherty posting, "It doesn't make any sense. A liberal on TikTok loses their mind after Kamala certifies her own defeat because there was an entire theory among these people. There was a plan to ensure Kamala Harris would become president."
I'm going to go dig out. Like I've said, there has to be. Why would you work through Christmas? Why would you write a flurry of random executive orders? Like, none of it's making sense. Your intuition is telling you something for a reason. I'm going to hold out for a while because to me, it just doesn't make any sense. I like when things make sense. I don't know. But I still don't believe that they just turn their backs. Some people are going to be like, they did. Fine. Great. What's your plan then? Like, none of this makes any sense. I'm sorry it doesn't, but it doesn't. It's not my fault. I'm going to go dig out a car or two and go get some dog food. Try to have a good rest of your day. Try to be level-headed. I don't know. I might make some more videos later. We'll see. We'll see how the vibes are. But just know, I don't know what else to say.
Oh man, these people are so triggered. So triggered. Especially, going back to the before I got this clip of a former campaign staffer for Kamala for you. But this woman here, okay, I want to go back to the whole thing with the cane and the refusing the handshake conspiracy that they're trying to push. Here's one person who's just taking it to a complete next level. I want to warn you, some of the language this woman uses is over the top. She says, I'm trying to figure out why these MAGA MFs are still so mad.
That's crazy. I'm trying to figure out why you MAGA bitches is so mad. Bruce Fisher, with your funky ass, can't even raise your eyes to look at the Vice President of the United States in her face, or fix your mangly ass fucking hands to shake the hand of the Vice President when your wife is getting sworn in. What the fuck is your problem, bitch? You know, y'all so fucking rotten and so evil and so demonic that you can't even do the bare minimum basic decent shit. Even when you fucking win, you have every reason to be celebrated, every reason to be joyful, and you got a motherfucking problem, bitch. That's crazy. That's crazy. First of all, thank the Lord. Thank the Lord that you didn't touch her. That was Jesus protecting her from your evil demonic ass spirit. Now she ain't got to wash her hands 15 fucking times. And it shows her power. Oh my God, imagine the power of this woman that you sitting up there cowering. You got your eyes peeled out the ground like a bitch, like a punk ass bitch, too afraid to even look this woman in her eye. You standing over like she got the fucking plague on her. That's power that you just giving her. You're giving her the power in that moment while you trying to be fucking funny. You probably one of the motherfuckers that used to have the goddamn swimming pools drained when black kids swim in the hood. That's the kind of energy that you give. But I'm just trying to figure out why the fuck you MAGA bitches are so upset. Y'all got everything you fucking wanted. You got the House, you got the Senate, you got the White House, and you're still fucking mad. Cause y'all rotten. You're rotten and you stink.
Damn. Yeah, see, I told you. It's crazy. Crazy people. But here's that, this was published back in November. An ex-Kamala campaign employee begs Democrats to stop buying into the conspiracy theories and bluntly tells them that Kamala isn't going to be POTUS.
Loneliest. I need to talk for a second. I need you to understand something. There is no plot twist coming in this year's election results. There isn't going to be some grand reveal that secretly Kamala won all along and this was all a honey trap set by the campaign to finally catch Trump and hold him accountable for one of his many, many crimes over the course of his life. And please believe me when I say it brings me absolutely zero pleasure to tell you that. I literally worked for her campaign. I've been at HQ for the last several months. I am actively moving back across country from Delaware to Kansas right now, making the saddest, loneliest solo road trip of my life. If things had gone according to plan, or at least according to how I had hoped they would turn out, I would be making plans to move to DC right now. I'm also a disabled queer woman who is married to an active duty service member. I am quite literally terrified of what a second Trump presidency may mean for my family specifically. So again, I wish more than anything that I could tell you that there was any just sliver of merit to all of the conspiracy theories that I keep seeing going around on TikTok. But not only is there no merit to them, quite frankly, I'm worried that they could be actively harmful. Every second that people spend obsessing over and hoping for and waiting for some secret plot twist like we're living in a movie is more time that they are not spending organizing and getting involved in their community and taking steps to protect themselves and their loved ones from what a Trump presidency will mean for their families. And honestly, while I do think that some of the people spreading these conspiracy theories on TikTok are, in fact, true believers in them, there's also a substantial financial incentive for people who don't believe them at all to lie and tell you that they do. Not only are they preying upon people's despair and fear in a moment of extreme uncertainty for our country, we know for a fact that conspiracy theories are one of the most profitable content niches on TikTok. So I'm telling you this as both a former, very proud Kamala campaign staffer and as a professional digital strategist. There is no plot twist coming, and you need to stop trusting the people who tell you that there is. I need to talk for a second. I need you to...
Apparently the rest of them didn't get the memo. And they are all in meltdown mode today because Kamala just certified her own demise. They can't quite figure it out. So what is Blue Anon? If you believe that DC is under military occupation because there's nonstop threats from Trump supporters, Joe Biden's the most popular American president of all time, Russia, 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 you might be Blue Anon. Blue Anon is a loosely organized network of Democrat voters, politicians, and media personalities who spread left-wing conspiracy theories such as the Russia, Russia, Russia hoax, Jussie Smollett hoax, Ukraine hoax, Covington Kid hoax, Brett Kavanaugh hoax. Blue Anon adherents firmly believe that right-wing extremists are going to storm Capitol Hill any day now and remove lawmakers from office, hence the need for the deployment of thousands of National Guard at the U.S. Capitol. That was published 7 hours ago. But they are triggered beyond belief. And it's because it's because you got people like this in New Jersey. Did you hear about this? This is what happens when you vote for Democrats or don't vote at all. New Jersey Democrat Governor Phil Murphy passed Act 1669 as part of the state's 2025 budget in June to address a teacher shortage. The law went into effect on January 1st, 2025. New Jersey teachers no longer required to pass basic literacy test. Yeah, that's just a symptom of the larger problem. And of course, you have Chuck Schumer.
Is wrong.
I want to play you a little bit of something you said last year. Take a look.
I talk to President Biden, regularly, sometimes several times in a week, or usually several times in a week. His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years. All this right-wing propaganda that his mental acuity has declined is wrong.
Yeah, that was just another conspiracy that we were pushing, right? Well, let's see how he responds to this.
Leader Schumer, what do you say to Americans who feel as though you and other top Democrats misled them about President Biden's mental acuity?
No. Look, we didn't. And let's look at President Biden. He's had an amazing record. The legislation we passed, one of the most significant groups of legislation since since Lyndon Johnson's Great Society, putting in 235 judges, a record, and he's a patriot. He's a great guy. And when he stepped down, he did it on his own because he thought it was better not only for the Democratic Party, for America. We should all salute him. We should all salute him.
Do you feel, as we have this conversation today, that President Biden could serve another 4 years had he stayed in the race and potentially won?
Well, I'm not going to speculate. As I said, I think his record is a stellar one, and he'll go down in history as a really outstanding president.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Oh, here's the one. Harris voters are now decoding her posts as proof that she has a top secret plot to stop Trump and reclaim the presidency.
I am shook, shaken, and stirred right now. I had to get out of bed. Did y'all see Kamala Harris's end of the year / New Year post?
No.
Why was it? Why? There has to be a reason it was that extra. Because that was unnecessary. I feel like this is there. It's coded. It's coded. I don't know what it means, but it means something. She's not going anywhere. I think that's very clear from this video. She ain't going nowhere. Also, another reason why I think this video is important is that Biden is not featured at all. Not even one frame.
Crack the code.
I feel like that's strange. I feel like that's a little strange. Remember, the things that she keeps repeating. We are not going to throw up our hands. We're going to roll up our sleeves. It's time to get to work. I am shook, shaken.
Cope harder, honey. Cope harder. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with, folks. It is in full swing. So what we have witnessed today isn't just the end of Kamala Harris' delusions of grandeur. It was the complete exposure of the left's desperate attempt to cling to power. They created an entire alternate reality where Harris would somehow emerge as their savior. Instead, she couldn't even maintain her composure while certifying Trump's victory. The liberal meltdown is both hilarious and deeply revealing. So here's what we need to ask ourselves. How did millions of Americans fall for such an obvious fantasy? What does this tell us about the state of our opposition? Share your thoughts below. And while the left cries over their shattered dreams, grab your MAG Avengers merch at shop.nextnewsnetwork.com because victory deserves to be celebrated in style.